And now, it's time for the Sid Shady Show! Hello and welcome everybody to the Sid Shady Show. I'm your host Sid, and today we have a very special guest. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to the Man of Steel, Joseph Stalin!
Thank you! Thank you! Hey, you in front, I'll execute you if you don't clap harder.
Hi, you're always so funny, Mr. Stalin. Please have a seat.
Thank you, I will.
Some people might not know, but when were you born?
I was born December 18th, 1878, and before you guys know, my real name isn't Stalin, it's...
Joseph Vissarionovich Jagashvili.
That's quite a name. What did you do before taking over as a leader?
I was the General Secretary of the Communist Party. I also took part in the revolutions under the alias Koba.
So, what goals or aims do you have for the country when you take over for Lenin?
Well, I knew we needed to industrialize fast. I also knew collectivization would be key for success of our economy. All my ideas came together in the 5-year plans. My first plan came into action in 1928, beginning the modernization of the Soviet Union.
Wow, the 5-year plans. Those sound interesting. What other goals do you have for the Soviet Union?
Well, I wanted large-scale production, increased population, and militarization.
Really cool, man. You really know what to do.
Don't refer to me as man again. Either Mr. Stalin or Joseph. You'll regret it.
Aight, man. Mr. Stalin.
I'll let you off the hook this time, but if you do it again, rip Sid.
Okay, let's get back to the questions. What are your ideological beliefs?
Well, communism, obviously. But also dictatorship is big for me, having absolute power. I prefer to make most of the decisions alone in my office.
I think anyone would have been able to tell that you were a dictator from the way you ruled. Anyways, what people were you popular with? Or where did your power come from?
Well, I was hated by the peasants, but I had my supporters in power who would agree with me. Young workers didn't seem to be supporters of my decisions, but they still worked. I had no choice but to kill the middle-class men, or the kulaks, who opposed me. But of course my fellow Soviets were always there for me.
So it seems that not many people liked you, but you were never overthrown. This is surprising for me. I mean, if people hated my show, I would be fired in like 5 minutes by my producers. But I guess that's the difference between you and me. You had absolute power. Will I have higher-ups that watch over me?
Yeah. Or you should get powerful supporters like my secret police.
That always could be an option for me. But we are getting sidetracked talking about me. I brought you here to learn more about you, not talk about my bosses. Time for a harder hitting question. Are you ready, man? Stalin?
Bring it on, Sid Shady.
Okay. What conflicts were you involved in during your rule?
I don't think there were any conflicts present to me.
I think we all know that's a lie, according to your previous answer to my question about supporters.
No, what are you talking about, man? I don't know what you're referring to. Okay, you got me there. I think about 20 million people died. Killing during my time in power. I was killing, no murder. I didn't have a choice some of these times. There were purges I organized to cleanse the USSR of people who were foolish enough to oppose me. I also held trials to prove that people were guilty. There was the Ukrainian famine. I made myself to clear them out. And I sent people to their death in the gulags. I was also involved in World War II, fighting against the Nazis. And I organized the assassination of Trotsky.
What? You had quite the bloody rule. How do you manage to live with all that death in your hands?
What? My hands? Well, you know, you'll get used to it over time. Like, you want to try it right now? No? Okay.
I don't think anyone should get used to that, let alone doing daily basis. You are quite a crazy man. So, anyways, what were the characteristics of your rule?
Well, you see, Sid, my man, it started when I was appointed by Lenin into the Bolshevik Party. It then turned into Communist Party, as you know. I ruled with strength and terror to limit the opposition. And, you know, I secret police help, I like to sometimes get my hands dirty myself, you know what I mean?
Oh, seems like you were quite the ruthless one. I'm glad I was never stuck under your rule.
What was that?
Nothing, never mind.
That's right.
Well, I'd like to thank you for coming onto the Sid Shady Show, Mr. Stalin. And thanks for not becoming violent.
There's no problem for me to come on here at all. You see, there was no violence.
What? What do you mean?
Remember those bosses you told me about? They're gone now.
Okay, the real Sid Shady's gonna stand up now. What? What? What are you doing? Why do you have the gun out? Oh! Oh!
I mean, I just took out the bosses for you. There's nothing wrong with it.
What?
You always flash!
Oh! Okay.
We seem to be experiencing some technical difficulties right now. Please tune in at a later time and see if your show is back.